Every day at sunrise, dozens of deportees gather on a block about 5 miles south of the border in Tijuana. Passers-by seeking plumbers, electricians, or construction workers for cheap pick them up from this spot. These men are trying to assimilate back into Mexico, an alien place for them. They're part of the largest deportation wave in American history. Many have families and homes in the U.S. But for now, many have given up trying to go back. Crossing has become too difficult. Smugglers are more expensive, border agents are more numerous. Some fear going to federal prison after repeat immigration violations. Now they're just trying to find work in Tijuana, where most are forced to work in the informal labor market.
I've bought all these tools with money I saved to do the work I need to do.
Cesar Jimenez Sanchez lived in the U.S. for 32 years before he was deported from Santana, California following a DUI. In recent years, U.S. immigration officials have been going after immigrants who committed crimes. But many deportees are guilty of no more than a traffic violation. Jimenez has a wife and 8 children north of the border. For the past 5 years, Jimenez has waited at this corner in front of Costco every morning, hoping someone will pick him up to fix pipes or lay bricks in exchange for the equivalent of about $10 or $15.
This is the only block we have, the only corner where we can find work. We have nowhere else.
In the U.S., Jimenez had a construction license. But since he was deported, he's had a hard time finding a formal job.
I'm illegal all over again here because I don't have papers. I don't have anything.
Shelters like El Desayunador Salesiano are ramping up services to help deportees like Jimenez reintegrate into the Mexican working class. This shelter offers migrants free daily meals, helping them save a little money to get off the streets. It also provides showers and donated clothing. Volunteers give free haircuts, allowing migrants to groom themselves prior to job interviews. Antonio de la Peña Hernandez said he came to clean up his look to improve his chances of getting an office job that will be easier on his weakening legs. He was deported in 2009, having lived in the U.S. since he was 5 years old. In Tijuana, he works on the streets, picking up trash for a few pesos. But Mexicans perceive him as an outsider. He says he has been beaten and robbed. Like many older deportees, he's had an especially hard time assimilating back into Mexico, where age discrimination is rampant in the workplace. Over the years, the average age of deportees has gone up.
Ever since I was a kid, I've been working. And now, I don't know where to start.
La Casa del Migrante, Tijuana's first migrant shelter, has also been adapting its programs to the changes in the deportee population. Father Pat Murphy, the shelter director, says the proximity of Tijuana to the U.S. makes immigrants want to stay and work here, hoping their relatives will visit.
The last year and a half, it's become real evident that people are tired about trying to cross, and a lot of people want to reestablish themselves in Tijuana. Why? Because their family's on the other side.
The shelter assists migrants in obtaining official documents, such as birth certificates. Volunteers help them set up email addresses, write resumes, and improve their wardrobe. Because a rising number of deportees have been ripped from their families, many show signs of anxiety and other mental health problems. So the shelter now offers a full-time psychologist.
Everyone who's deported has some kind of depression, you know.
Father Pat Murphy says most deportees are resilient and after a few days at the shelter are ready to work.
They just, as we say in Spanish, ya tiene ganas, no? Yeah, they really have this spirit that they want to do something.
Only deportees who show these ganas are allowed to stay longer term at the shelter. In the shelter's library, migrants like Mario Riojas can spend weeks consulting inspirational books such as the Bible, self-help texts, and entrepreneurship manuals. Riojas migrated to the U.S. when he was 18. He started a construction business, hiring as many as 60 people at a time. When he was deported after a routine traffic inspection, he lost everything. After multiple failed attempts at recrossing, immigration officials threatened to put him in federal prison. He decided it wasn't worth the risk.
So we had to keep our mind and your body where you are.
The Casa was able to secure him a job at Telvista, a call center outsourcing company capitalizing on the number of bilingual deportees in Mexico. Riojas hopes to have enough money to rent his own place in less than a month. In the meantime, he's staying in a shared room at the Casa.
It's not the same when when you have your house over there in the States, but I feel okay, you know.
Riojas plans to work at Telvista until he can start a construction company like the one he had in the U.S. Around noon, with a fellow deportee, Riojas walked to the offices of Telvista. The towering silver skyscraper where Telvista is located was visible from the hill where the shelter lies. Jean Guerrero, KPBS News.